Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Now, earlier this week on the channel, I took a look at See No Evil Part 1, released in 2006, and if you guys missed my review, check it out below, but I did enjoy that movie. So I said, why not? Let's take a look at the sequel, See No Evil 2, Pay for Your Sins, released in 2014. Now, the victims in this movie might not be the only ones who pay for their sins. The movie stars Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane, returning as the villainous Jacob Goodnight, Danielle Harris as Amy, Kaj-Erik Eriksen as Seth, plus a new group of victims who will pay for their sins, and was directed by twins Jen and Sylvia Soka. Now, the sequel picks up immediately where the original left off, as there's a slew of body bags heading to the morgue, including that of the body of Jacob Goodnight. Now, here at the coroners, we meet Seth and Amy, and just as the night was ending, Amy was ready to head out for the night, as it is her birthday. But as she gets the call that there's all these body bags coming in, she decides, you know what, I'm gonna stay behind and I'm gonna help out Seth. Now, she calls her friends and cancels her birthday party, but one of the guys here at the coroners, he has this bright idea. He says, you know what, Amy needs to celebrate her birthday. So he makes a phone call and he calls her friends that she had canceled on and invites them all to the corners for one big birthday surprise. Now, Amy here, she did try to be responsible and cancel that big birthday celebration with her friends, but in the long term, what did it really mean? Her friends show up, they're having this booze-filled sex romp party, and in the end, she would have got nothing done anyways. Honestly, she should have just gone out for the party. Instead, they had this like forced storyline just to really create some more victims for Jacob Goodnight. Now, Tamara and her boyfriend here go wandering off to have, you know, a little bit of alone time. And why shouldn't they be allowed to go out and have some promiscuous fun, especially at a morgue? I mean, who's watching them? Who's taking control? Who's making sure that these bodies aren't tainted? Obviously, Amy isn't. She's lost complete control of what's happening here at this birthday party. So good job, Amy, staying behind. Now, as Tamara here, she finds the body of Jacob Goodnight and would only be described as one of the most awkward, cringy, and just disturbing scenes you can actually see as she sees the dead body and she goes on to entice him. Yeah, it's really weird. And not only does she entice him, but she also kisses the dead body as well. Now, Tamara's not the only one who has her motor running, because whatever she did over the body of Jacob Goodnight, well, it's kind of brought him back to life. And now Tamara and her boyfriend are going to be the first victims in Jacob Goodnight's new night of terror. Now, I thought the location for the first movie really worked, an old abandoned hotel, and the reason why the victims were there was to clean it up, to earn some time off their sentences. So I thought the plot of that movie worked. Now, in the second one, they're only here to celebrate Amy's birthday party at the morgue. It's really, really forced. Plus, I really liked the first movie and the way the set was, because the teens and the troubled youth, they really didn't know the ins and outs of the hotel, so you really felt like they were trapped. Now here, there's at least 3 people that work at this morgue, and none of them can find a way out. None of them know where the exit is. None of them have a key to get out. They're all completely stuck with nowhere to go, and it's so frustrating because it's like, you work there. How do you not know how to escape? Especially when Jacob Goodnight is on the loose. Now, when I'm watching a horror movie, I'm not really expecting these really complex 3-dimensional characters, but I at least feel like I should care about them. In the first movie, granted, the characters weren't that in-depth, but at least I could like care for them, sympathize with them, and even root for them at some times. But here in the second movie, these characters are so bland, it's like watching paint dry, or it can even get even worse, as some of the characters are so annoying, it's like they make that screeching sound when somebody runs their fingernails down a chalkboard. Now, when watching a slasher movie, yeah, it's okay to root for the bad guy every once in a while and knock off some of the characters, of course. But here in this movie, I'm just rooting for Jacob Goodnight. Not so much that I really care about this character so much in the second movie, but I figure the faster he knocks off one of these characters, the faster the credits will roll. Now, do I recommend watching See No Evil 2? No guys, I say pass on this movie. If you want to go check out the first one, go ahead and do that. I think you guys can get some enjoyment out of the first one, but the second one, there is nothing redeeming here. And even for a horror movie, the plot and what happens with these characters is so far-fetched. It just has you shaking your head and really wanting the movie to end. Now, I have not given a final movie score in any of my movie lookbacks, but I've been listening to viewer feedback, and I do think that giving a final number score will help you guys get a better understanding of my overall thoughts of this movie. Now, while I didn't rate See No Evil 1, I'm going to rate it right here. I would give it a 7. It was kind of fresh and scary and kind of like a new take on the horror genre, and I really did enjoy it. Now, See No Evil 2, I really debated between a 2 and a 3, and I decided I'm going to give it a 3, and of course that's not a good score, but I am going to give the movie some props, some credit. I really did still like Jacob Goodnight. He was a good killer here in this movie, and I did like the cinematography and the way some of the shots were set up. They were really creative, but other than that, the story and the characters, they're just awful here, and I cannot recommend you guys checking out See No Evil Part 2. That's for sure. Now guys, have you seen any of the See No Evil movies? Leave me a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Alright guys, if you're enjoying these movie lookbacks, I got another one for you next week as we take a look at the dark comedy Don't Tell Mom, The Babysitter's Dead, starring Christina Applegate. Now, this is just a complete coincidence as we came off See No Evil 2, but Danielle Harris, who played Amy in See No Evil 2, yeah, she's actually in this movie as well. So guys, make sure you subscribe here to Toned In Entertainment for that future video.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.